Hello again and welcome back to my channel. I appreciate every one of you that comes back every week. I wanted to share with you a signature style of painting that I have painted for years. It's one of my most popular styles, and I paint this painting from as small as like a 8x8. I think I've done one even by a 4x4, all the way up to very large. I have a 48x72, two of them, and I even won an award with this particular style. So it's been a old favorite of mine, and every once in a while I revisit it and add something different to it. And I wanted to share this style with you because it's a fairly easy style that you can create just a couple things that are unique to this painting that make it something that is easier to do with the particular tools. So I wanted to share it with you because I think you'll enjoy it. And if you're a beginner, it's certainly something that you can try. If you're experienced, you can add a lot of your own little techniques to it. So without further ado, let's jump right in and get started on this painting. I searched high and low for the perfect paint to start this style of painting out. The trick is to spread it on with a palette knife, and the paint that I use is actually just a black craft paint. Any other paint, the high flows, the paints that are from the tube, any paint that I watered down mixed with a medium, didn't work. So any craft paint that you get, that type of consistency is perfect. I'm showing you all the tools that I use, and any of these tools, like with teeth marks, you could use a comb, any type of tool that makes marks while the paint is still wet is the trick to this particular style. So grab any tool. You can buy these catalysts that are quite expensive, or you can get a trowel from the hardware store. You can go to a local thrift store and get some tool that makes these unique marks, and that's all you really need. There's another craft paint, folk art, that's also the very thin, but the way it spreads onto the canvas is just so perfect. I have not found any other paint of that consistency, or else I would use it. But that's a trick that a lot of people have tried my style and they can't figure it out because they're looking for the paint that spreads perfectly. So that was another just tool that I found. I'm not even sure what that tool is, but the trick is just to find tools that make marks. Then I grab a water bottle, and I use that water bottle to, while the paint is still wet, to just make some beautiful spread marks, drips. You do not have to do this step, but I love this step. And you can change it up. You'll see what I did on that particular painting that I'm doing now is I stop the drips from going all the way down. At some point when this dries, you can go in and clean up a lot of the spray on those. So this is also something you can tailor to your liking, how much of the drips that you want. I could drip the white paint. I could put white paint over top of the black paint and then spray white paint and let it drip through the black. It's up to you. So here's just another making marks within the marks, and as much as you want to make the marks, that's up to you. That's the trick of this painting. It can be tailored to any type of tools that are your unique tools. Now, these paintings I'm showing you, that's bubble wrap, by the way, can be tailored to, since this particular painting was painting quite a while back, this can be done with maybe some of your spray paint stencils at this point instead of the bubble wrap. These signature paintings, I continued to do the bubble wrap, but you could use the larger bubble wrap, smaller bubble wrap, or grab some of your favorite stencils and use those. You could stamp them on, you could spray through them. Okay, so for this particular video, what I did was I just grabbed another painting that I had been working on, and it was dry, so I could continue to show you. And this is where you can go into your drip marks and clean them up. If you don't want them to look very splattery, you can go in and trim them evenly along the bottom, like this painting. I do that a lot on this style. I've gone in and I've just manipulated how the drips look. They're more controlled. Sometimes I'll leave them very drippy. Other times I will make them look more controlled the way I want them. That's a total preference to you. So I'm just going in and I'm cleaning up the canvas, because when I work with black paint, I got a little messy. And I'm going to let this dry, because the next step, which is extremely important, is adding the gold and white marks on the top. So what I do is I let this particular painting dry, and then I get the same craft paint in gold, and then the white. And then I put one of those lids on it that have the point on the top. So this is the folk art, and then there's different golds. And then it has that spout on the top. And you're going to start the squirt. It's easier to start the squirt off in a different other space. But if you've already used it, then you can just go ahead and just add, I add like bows, almost like angel wings to the painting. And it's a thick, it comes out like raised. And here I am going in and I'm just smearing some of them, because I like the look of some of it being smeared and some of it being more on the thicker side. Also, sometimes when the gold comes out of the tube, there's like little air bubbles in there. So you can just work on it, manipulate it, but I like a little smear of gold here and there. And then the rest, I like that raised gold. And it's important to let this dry. You can add white on top of this if you're really careful. Or you can let this dry. You don't even have to add another color. You can add silver to this, or you can add white. I end up adding white to this particular painting. This is a 48 by 72. This is huge painting. And as you can see in here, I let the drips go all the way down to the end of this painting. This has got several sizes of bubble wrap. This has got both gold and white in it. It's just got a lot happening. And this is actually in my dining room, and I've had the request to show this painting several times, but it wasn't until my dad said, why don't you just show the style of that painting? So I thought I would. It's just a beautiful style that, as you can see by the simplicity of taking it step by step and understanding that you have to let the base layer dry, use a certain type of paint, and that the raised gold is through the little top of the nozzle, understanding some of those little techniques. And that's what painting a lot of times is all about, is understanding a technique that you've developed in your own style that you use that works for you. Here's the other 48 by 72. It's very large, and I have this one actually rolled up because I have it for sale ready to go in a box. And as you can see, I wanted to show you this one because it has some of the areas where I rubbed the gold. Now the gold that I rubbed on here, sometimes I'll use the regular gold. Other times I will grab the high flow gold from Golden's and rub that on. It's a little bit different. Either one work. But this shows a good example of all the different tools you can use. There are no squirts in this one where it drips down. So the difference between the two, you don't have to have it where it drips down. It's totally up to you, whatever you like. Some people don't like the drip, so I wanted to show you this one too. So thank you all for coming back again, and thank you, Dad, for asking me to do this video. I've never shown this style on my channel, and he thought you would like it. So in the comments below, if you made it this far in the video, say thank you, Dad, because I know he would enjoy that. He watches all these, and he asks what you all say. He's very invested in me as a daughter and my YouTube channel. So let him know, give him your love, and thank you again for being a part of my channel. Give a thumbs up if you think this was great. If you enjoyed it, I'd love to hear some comments from you too.